Alright, this is going to be Foo Fighters' Learn to Fly. This is an awesome, awesome song. It's a very easy bass line to play. You are going to play it, yo! Anyway, I am Finbar of Finbar Bass. Okay, so what are those bass videos all about down when you click on the YouTube text box right there? Well, bass playing is kind of a time of discovery, you know? It's like an adventure. You're learning new stuff all the time. You're increasing your chops. You're getting better, right? So we need to practice bass. And when we're practicing, you know, and learning all these different techniques, like through these videos, why not make it fun, right? I mean, that's great. If you can actually get better on the bass, you know, and learn all these different songs or techniques or whatever, and, you know, and have fun doing it instead of just doing it through, you know, repetitious, you know, study, then that's a fantastic thing, and that's fun. You're doing it through something that you love. You're doing it through music. And that makes it just so much easier to do and so much better. So don't forget, click on the clicker box right down there in the YouTube text box. I think it's really going to help you out. So for the intro of this song, you have... I am on the 2nd fret of the A string. So you got 1 hit, 2 hits, 3 hits. Then the 2nd fret of the E string. Same rhythm. Then you're going to hit the open E for 2 measures. Right? And then you repeat that. So you got... And you repeat it. And then when the verses come in, you're kind of doing the same thing, except you're playing whole notes there, right? So they each get 4 beats. You're going to be playing on the 2nd fret of the A. Right there, you don't actually hit the 2nd measure of open E's. You just let that open E from the 1st measure ring out over the, so it's like 2 whole notes, ring out over the rest of it. So the first part of that, I'll do it again. This is when the lyrics come in. Run and tell all the angels. Right, just like that. Then you're gonna repeat. Basically, just keep repeating that. So you got 2nd fret. And this time you do hit the 2nd measure of open E. And I usually hit that twice. Right? So basically what that's going to look like is this. Just like that. And then you're going to have the last time that you hear that, you're going to play the 2nd fret of the A, 2nd fret of the E. And then when you're hitting the open E's, instead of hitting whole notes there, you're actually going to hit an 8th note. So you're going to hit 8 notes to a measure. And that kind of is building up, gives you a sense of building and movement going into the chorus. So you know what? If I play the whole entire verse section, just so you can see how I play it and what it looks like. Just like that. Okay, for the chorus of this song, you're going to play exactly what I showed you to play an intro. Right? Right, that right there. That's part of the chorus. Now, so I played that 2 times, just like in the intro. On the 3rd time, you're going to do this number. See, that last measure of open E's turned into 8th notes there. So you got, it's normal, normal, normal. But then you want to get a sense of movement here. You're on the open E and you hit the 8th notes, or just hit 8 notes per measure. And then when he sings Make My Way Back Home Where I Learned to Fly, you're going to be on that 5th fret. It sounds dramatic when he sings it in the song, because you go onto the 5th fret of the D string, and you hit 8th notes there. So you got 5th fret of the D, and then 7th fret of the D. Right? So if I played that together, it's going to sound like this. And then it goes back into like the intro part. At the end of the 2nd chorus, when he sings Make My Way Back Home, Where I Learned to Fly, you do the normal, you're on the 5th fret of the D string, right, for 8th notes. And then you're going to be on the 7th fret, right, for a measure of 8th notes. But then he repeats it, so you're going to go to the 7th fret of the A string, and then you're gonna hit it 6 times, right? And then you're gonna hit that 4th fret of the D once to go back into the 5th and the 7th on the D. So anyway, a picture's worth 1,000 words. Let me show you what that looks like. And that's where he's singing Make My Way Back Home Where I Learned to Fly, and he repeats it, so that's why you do that. Then there's a little really interesting break in the song, or where the music changes, where he sings Fly Along With Me, and I Can't Quite Make It Alone. And what he's doing there is this. Just like that. And what I'm doing there, you're on the 2nd fret with that normal, that typical rhythm that we've been using. But then you're going to go to the 3rd fret. See, there's a little break here. 3rd fret of the E. Right there, right? It sounds awesome in the song. 3rd fret of the E that was. Then you're going to go to the 5th fret of the A. Of course, you could use the open D, but right there I use the 5th fret of the A. So you got. Right, and then you have the open E, right? Then I'm hitting on the 2nd fret of the E string to get, and that gets you into the 3rd fret, right? So you got hit it once, twice, and then open once more, and then the 2nd fret of the E. If I do that slow. So then you're going to go into the 3rd fret for just regular 8th notes. And then you're going to be on this 5th fret of the E. And I do that like, so you're going to hit 4 notes and then 3. So if I'm going to play that, if I play that whole thing slow. Just like that. And you can repeat that if you want. I believe in the studio version that I'm listening to, he changes it up a little bit. So you have the 2nd fret, and then the 3rd fret of the E, right? Just like normal, like we just played. And then you go, right? So you got 5th fret. This is instead of just going like we did last time. You got 5th fret of the A, 5th fret of the E, 5th fret of the A, and then you got 2 quick little 8th notes on the 3rd fret of the E. So you got, and then you're on the open E again, right? And then the 3rd fret of the E, and you're on the 5th fret. So if I play that slow all together. Just like that. At the end of the song, you're going to hear those 3 notes, and what you got there is you're on the 2nd fret of the A, 2nd fret of the D, and 4th fret of the D. All right, Foo Fighters, Learn to Fly. Oh man, what an incredible, incredible song. I love that song. Fantastic from beginning to end, right? Really well-structured song. Anyway, I am Finbar of Finbar Bass. Once again, don't forget, click on the little YouTube clicker box right down there if you want some lessons that aren't on YouTube. Other than that, you can always subscribe to Finbar Bass to get a lot more of these song lessons. I got a ton on there right now. For whoever you are, there's something on there for you. Other than that, thank you so much for listening, and have fun with that one, yo!